Welcome, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. It is Tax Tea Thursday with Tish. How's everyone doing? If you can hear me, please drop something in the comments, please. Please and thank you. If you all see me looking down, I have my phone so I can read the other comments. Because when people are on my other social medias, I've noticed that I was able to see some comments, but not all comments. Today, we are going to be discussing budget. Get in here, get in here. It is Tax Tea Thursday with Tish. I have my cup here, customized. I am so in love. Welcome. Taxi Thursday with Tish. Thank you all for joining. I will not be keeping you all too long tonight. I am a little under the weather, but I wanted to stay committed and consistent to going live every Thursday. Again, Text Tea Thursday with Tish. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. I know some people were going to join, so I just wanted some others to come on in the room before we got started today. How's everyone evening going? Hey, Sierra. Hey. Like I said, if you all see me looking down, I do have my phone in my hand reading additional comments. That for some reason I can't see on the platform that I am using. Welcome to Tax Tea Thursdays with Tish. On today's live, we will be discussing budgeting and record keeping for individuals and small business. Again, I am Letitia Wilson, your wealth tax strategist of LC Financial Solutions, where we are here to help you by empowering your financial future by saving you time, money, and stress. Because who want to be stressed out, right? Hey, Tammy. Welcome. We are discussing budgets tonight. And I know a lot of people wanted to know why we are discussing budgets because budget matters. You know, if you don't know your pockets, then what do you know? If you don't know your money, what do you know? I'm sleepy as well, Sierra. It's been a long day. Late nights, early mornings for sure. But yeah, we can go ahead and get started. So, did you all know that 78% of Americans are living paycheck by paycheck? And small businesses have poor financial management, and it's one of the top reasons that businesses fail today. Budgeting and record keeping are those keys to help you avoid pitfalls when it comes to your personal finances and your business finances. In today's topic, we'll be discussing budgeting basic and tips and staying consistent within that, record keeping that's best for your financial future, and tools to simplify your budgeting to make it easy for you to maintain and obtain as well. Again, like I said, we're going to start with basic budgeting for individuals. So, budgeting is all about knowing where your money goes and making intentional decisions with your money. A lot of people like to follow the 50-30-20 rule, where it is 50% of your needs, 30% of your wants, and 20% of your savings. This year, for me personally, I am focusing on that 30% instead of being wants. I'm trying to make that the savings part instead of the 20%, right? We want to make sure that we are saving, because you never know when life can change unexpectedly for you. And so when you don't plan for budgeting in your day to day finances, you come across some pitfalls that you might have, where the pitfall could be, not keeping a budget at all. Sometimes people don't even read their finances or even read their bank statement. They are just swiping a card or writing a check. depending on who you are. So some of pitfalls, again, like I said, is not tracking your expenses. Even though small purchases add up, running to Starbucks, running to maybe Target to get something really quick, like those expenses add up when you don't think about it. Failing to budget for irregular expenses like annual subscriptions if you're a business owner, or even your monthly subscriptions like Amazon Prime. People typically don't budget for those things. Sometimes it's just not in the budget, or sometimes you don't think about really budgeting and how that really affects your day to day life. Another common downfall, or I should say, a pit, would be setting unrealistic goals. Remember, your budget should reflect your reality, not your ideal imagination. That is another reason why your business is or your personal finances do not reach that high expectation that they should be, because a lot of times people may set those unrealistic goals, saying, oh, I want to save $20,000 in 3 months. Like, baby, you haven't even saved $200 in 1 month, so how are we gonna get to 20? Again, you want to be realistic about your goal and not ideal. um, there are tools that you can use to create your budget. There are many, many, many websites or apps that you can use that'll track your spending for you on a daily basis. Like Mint is one, but me, I'm old school. So my budget, I will print off those bank statements, open up my budget planner that I have, and I like to write everything down on paper. I actually like to see where the money is going, even though sometimes it's really scary. Like, honestly, if you haven't really opened your bank statement for the last 3 months, you just know that you paying. It's kind of a scary thing when you actually sit down and look at your bank statement and actually see how much money that you have spent when it comes to your wants, and not your needs. So that is something that could be scary for you. Um, and again, you want to use sites like Mint, or again, do the old school bookkeeping method where you got the pen and the paper and you are writing down those income and those expenses. Thank you all for joining. Again, we are talking about budgeting for individuals, and budgeting for your business as well. Another thing that you want to consider when you are budgeting is staying consistent. I feel like consistency is really hard for everyone when it comes to staying consistent, whether that's with a budget, whether that's working out, eating healthy, just being consistent in general. It's pretty hard to do. But once you learn how to stay disciplined with your consistency, that's how you can reach your goal. Again, staying consistent is the hardest part when you are creating a budget. And like I discussed before, with the budget basics, that 50/30/20 rule. The 50% is the needs. You got your 30% is your wants, and 20% is your savings. But like I said before, me personally, I am working on the 30% being my savings and the 20% being my wants. On my way to the office, I wanted to stop at Chick-fil-A so bad and grab me a Cobb salad. I've been doing so good. I'm really trying to not eat out. That is one of my goals, because when I did open up my budget, I feel like I'm a binge spender personally, to where basically a binge spender is somebody who doesn't spend for a long time, and then when they actually start spending money, they just go crazy. Like, that's me. Like, I cannot spend money for a long time, and then once I actually start spending, I just go insane. I can't help it. I want to go here, I want to go there. So that is something personally that I am working on for myself, is not to binge spend, and also not to spend so much money on fast food, because we have food at home, right? um so, with not spending, and you want to think about the common mistakes when you are creating your budget. Most common mistakes when you have a budget but you're not staying consistent with that budget is not tracking those small expenses, forgetting those irregular costs, and again, setting unrealistic goals. You have to be realistic when it comes to setting that budgeting goals. Again, like I said, there are apps out there that you can use. I have a budget planner. If you all want my budget planner, I can send that to you digitally, or if you want that printed off, I can mail that to you. You can just type budget in the chat, and then I'll send you over the budget planner that I use to help me stay in line. Sierra said, I used to spend so much on eating out. Yes, like it's crazy. And you really think it don't add up, because I think my Chick-fil-A with the salad and the sweet tea is probably like maybe $12 to $14. So I was like, oh, that's not bad. But it's like, if I wanted 2 to 3 times a week, technically, that is bad. And when you open up that bank account again, it's like, oh, okay, wait, what's going on here? Now you're trying to wonder where your money at, right? So again, for me, my personal goal is to start saving more money than spending money for this year. I definitely want to see a financial change in myself. And plus, again, I am a wealth tax strategist, so I do want to practice what I preach and not only just tell you all ways to, not spend money or to save money, and I'm not doing it. So that's another reason I wanted to get on here and talk about budgets. When creating your budget, you want to be able to identify all of your income. I love sweet tea. A lot of people do not like sweet tea, Sierra. I love, 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 love sweet tea. I don't know, it's really a weakness for me. I cannot stay away from it. I'm trying to, because I'm trying to, eat healthier, work out, get this baby weight off me from these 2 kids. But when it comes to a sweet tea, I'm happy. So yeah, back to setting those budgets and those goals. Again, when you are creating that budget, you want to make sure that you track all of your income, whether it's from working, any freelance work, any investment. You want to sit down and track all of that income so you can see the money that you have coming in for that month. And then also, you want to be able to identify and categorize your expenses. As an individual, you don't need to just be a business to have expenses, or to identify and categorize those expenses. As an individual, you do have those expenses, which could be fixed expenses, and then you have variable expenses. Your fixed expenses are mainly the expenses that doesn't change month to month. So your car insurance, your rent, your phone bill per se, those are fixed because those stay on a month to month payment, and it's typically the same. Even if you have life insurance, hopefully you do. If you don't, schedule a consultation. We can get you scheduled and get you some life insurance, because everyone needs that. But yeah, those are your fixed expenses. Fixed expenses is the same thing that comes out. It's going to be the same amount every month. My life insurance is the same amount every month. My health insurance that I pay, the same amount. My rent, those are fixed expenses. And then, of course, you have your variable expenses, which is basically food, entertainment, gas, any type of transportation. Of course, you're probably not going to spend the same amount on gas every day or every week, excuse me, depending on how often you fill up your tank. And of course, depending on gas prices, because of course those prices change. So when you are creating your budget, the first 2 things you want to do is track that income, to track all your income sources to see where everything is coming from. And then you want to identify and categorize your fixed expenses and your variable expenses. And remember, fixed stays the same, variables vary when it comes to that. And then you want to set your financial goals. So once you gather your income and your expenses, think about your financial goal and why you are saving. I make it myself at home now. We go through a picture. Oh, wow. See, I haven't made my own sweet tea at home yet, because that's going to be crazy. I'm going to be the size of that picture. But yeah, when you are creating that budget and you get that income together and you track those expenses, your next step is to set those financial goals. So what are your goals when it comes to budgeting? You're not just doing it to save money. Well, of course, we all doing it to save money, but do you have a goal behind it? Saving for a vacation, emergency fund, you have your long-term goals, retirement. So you want to think about that when you are creating that emergency fund or any type of financial goals that you have. Especially in today's world, you want to be able to have at least 3 to 6 months of your expenses in a savings account. So when something happens, or God forbid, something happens to where you go sick or you lose your job, you at least have a little cushion. A lot of times, or a lot of people in America today could lose their job tomorrow and then don't have any type of money saved up, living paycheck to paycheck. And that is what we are trying to prevent. 2025 is time to make different adjustments to your life. It's time for you to live the life that you actually see yourself living. And by that, you have to make those changes when it comes to your budget and spending. And again, so once you get those income together, figure out those expenses, you want to set those financial goals. The fourth thing that you want to do, again, you want to create a budget plan. So you want to allocate a portion of your income to each category. So that's your categories or your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, and your savings. So that is where you want to allocate that money to. And again, you can use budgeting tools, different apps, and things like that to help you stay consistent. But like I said, I'm old school. I'm going to open up that bank statement. I'll open up your bank statement if you want me to and go through it, and we can go through it together. And I can tell you where you probably need not to spend and where you should be spending when it comes to that budget. And then when you do set your financial goal, you want to think about the different type of financial plans that you want to use when it comes to your money. So again, you want an emergency fund. And that could just be saving 3 to 6 months of expenses. Emergency fund could be saving that $500 or that $1,000 for your car deductible. You know, you get into a car accident and you are, of course, covered if you have full coverage insurance. I'm not going to say, of course, I'm covered fully. So I do have full coverage insurance. So if I was to get hit or I'll get into an accident, then yeah, I have full coverage insurance. But guess what? I still got to come up with a $500 deductible, right? So do you have that, for your emergency fund? You want to think about your short-term saving goals, which is typically about 1 to 3 years. That you want to set aside money for each month for those short-term goals. Maybe it's to take a vacation, um, to celebrate you saving your money. Or you can have your long term goals where those are like 3, 5 years plus, whether you want to get a home, invest in retirement. I feel like the biggest one is retirement. We are in a day where I feel like a lot of people don't want to work until they're 60, 70 years old. If you listen to a lot of financial analysts or even watch the news, they tell you that we're not probably going to be getting Social Security. We are paying into it, yes, but when it's our time to get it, we might not receive it. So what are you going to do if you can't pull from your Social Security? So you definitely want to think about that retirement. And a lot of us are already in our 30s, 40s. So you definitely want to think about, if you live into 80 years old, how are you going to pay for your life? I don't plan on working until 65. I mean, 65 will probably be, you know, if I want to work, because I'll be a full time business owner running my business. Exactly. I don't want to work until I'm 65. When I'm 65, hopefully my kids will want to take over my business, or if not, I'll sell it. But yeah, you want to think about that. Think about where you want to be, and 65 might sound far, but if you're already in your 30s, hey, you halfway there. Honestly, when you thinking about it when it comes to retirement, so you want to make sure that you are putting up money to retire and have that comfortability, so you don't have to get out here and go to Walmart or go anywhere to have to work and be a greeter, because you have to make ends meet. At some point, we have to take responsibility when it comes to our own budget. And if you need help setting up for retirement plans, again, you can schedule a 15-minute consultation and we can get you set up with a wealth strategy budget to help you meet your financial success and needs. When it comes to saving, there are many ways that you can save. One of my favorites is using a high yield savings account. There are a lot of companies out there that offer high yield savings accounts, like American Express, Capital One, or you can even try your local bank. Personally, I have my high yield savings account with American Express because you do not have to have a minimum. So keep that in mind if you do want to have a high yield savings account, which is basically an account that is basically a savings account, is what it is. It's a high yield savings account where you can earn extra interest on your money by keeping it in there. So I like American Express because I didn't have to have a minimum. But of course, when you are saving with that high yield savings account, they take out the money monthly automatically. So that is something that is scheduled into my budget. You can start as low as $10 a month, $20 a month, and watch your money grow. You can put in $100 a month. You can put in $500 a month. You want to be able to see your money grow for you. Another saving method that you can implement is CDs through the bank, where that's basically at a fixed interest for a specific amount of terms. And then once it matures at that fixed rate, then you will be able to cash in on that money. And you can always do the old school way, put it under your mattress, save your money. Because I've been hearing a lot of people say that, if you go to the bank and they can't give you your money, then what you gonna do? But you are FDIC insured for up to 250,000. So I would probably have multiple banks to where I would probably only have up to $250,000 in there. So if they did have to give me my money when I needed it, I would be insured for that 250,000, and then everything after that is up in the air, which is crazy, right? When you are going to the bank and you put your money in there. Um, and so when you are budgeting and setting those goals, think about your debt as well. A lot of Americans are in debt. I believe the last time I saw a news article for credit card debt, we were like close to the trillions in debt for just credit card alone. So that's not even including, of course, your medical bills or student loans. When you are creating that budget, you want to be able to reduce your debt. By reducing your debt, you need to be realistic with yourself. Go ahead and list all of those debts that you have, calculate it, and review it and put it in your budget to see what you can pay off. There are different tax strategies, or not even tax strategies, but just strategies in general that you can use to pay off your debt. You can use the snowball method, which is where, of course, you will list all of your debts, and then whatever extra money you have, you pay off the smallest debt first. So that's a way that you can do it. Again, that is called the snowball method. You can do the avalanche method, where again you would write down all of your debt and tackle the biggest debt first. Or interest rate, depending on how you want to do it. I've known people to do the snowball method and the avalanche. Me personally, I like the snowball method because it's like I'm paying off the smallest things first, and I can see that it's being cleared, and it just makes me feel so good inside when I can see those small debts being paid off. Another strategy that you can use for reducing debt is debt consolidation. I've never done debt consolidation before, so that will be something that you always have to look into as far as becoming debt free. That's where a debt collector would gather all of your debt that you have. And instead of paying all those creditors that you have, you will just pay them one at a time. So that could be good if you really, 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 really are disciplined in not spending money, because you don't want to go into a debt consolidation where you have this creditor that's going to take all your debt for you, and you pay this one small lump sum, but then you still go out and you get debt everywhere else. That is not something that you want to do. Um, and another way to reduce your debt is to negotiate with creditors. You can call the credit card company or your bank or whoever you have debt with to see if they would negotiate the fees that you have to pay, see if they'll lower your payment for you as well. You can even increase your income, whether that's getting another job, asking your job that you have for a raise to help you pay off that debt, or you can file for bankruptcy. Chapter 7 to clear it all. But of course, remember, when you do file for bankruptcy, that is on your credit for 70 years. So it can affect you, moving forward with maybe trying to buy a home or getting a new car. But I have seen people talk about they were able to still get a home and a car after filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy as well. So again, when it comes to your individual budget, you want to make sure that you are staying consistent. You want to do those reviews. Me personally, I review my bank statements quarterly, so that's every 3 months for me. And I'm getting better. So when I open my bank statements, I'm not as scared as I used to be. I should say that, right? Because again, sometimes we scared to open those bank statements. We don't really want to see what we're doing. Again, we are living in that ideal world. And when you want to become debt free and create that budget and that security, you have to be realistic. We got to get out of that ideal mindset of, okay, I'm just spending if it's there, if it's there, if it's not, locking your card. I don't know why I see that a lot. A lot of people like to lock that card, right? Y'all keep that mug locked up, okay, like a safety deposit box. You're gonna keep that car locked. We getting too old. We got to learn how to make these better financial decisions to where we don't have to keep our car locked. Or if we do got to keep the card locked, that means you might need to get rid of that subscription. You might need to cancel that Amazon. You might need to cancel that Apple Music. YouTube got music for free. You're gonna catch a commercial, but you got to do what you got to do in order to make that budget work for you. So now we're going to discuss record keeping for business owners. Record keeping is very, very, very crucial for tax time, financial tracking, and compliance for your business. Accurate records also help you secure loans and investors for your business as well. Of course, when you are running a business, you can get a business loan or invest into completing grants as well. But a lot of times, they want to see those financial records. What does that look like? And you don't want to wait until you apply for a loan and they say, okay, we want to approve you, but we want to see your financial statements and you don't have them. I try to have money church weekly. Okay, I like that. Money church. Yes, I like that. Definitely. Again, like I said, quarterly, weekly, monthly, you want to be able to look at those bank statements to where you can see where you can place that budget to actually build the dream that you want to have. Or again, you can just be having a budget to want to save for a vacation, but you have to be consistent and responsible with being realistic with your bank statements and the money that you make coming in and going out. And yeah, you are right, Sierra. Those subscriptions do add up. Amazon Prime, Apple Pay. I got Audible. I like to listen to books, and all those other subscriptions that you may have. Especially when it comes to television. You got the BT Plus app, you got the Hulu app, you got the Netflix. Like all of those subscriptions add up. And do you really need those subscriptions though? You can live without that. I guarantee you can. I feel like since I've been really trying to progress in life and just make a change, like I haven't even really been watching TV. I've literally been either studying tax law, studying different life insurance policies, and just really trying to improve my knowledge so I can live this financial freedom life that I choose to live. Yes, bookkeeping, yes, for your business, it is definitely important and crucial. Again, to secure loans for, investors, or through a bank as well. And when it comes to record keeping, for individuals, of course, you want to keep your receipts and bill statements like that. But when it comes to businesses, you definitely want to make sure that you're keeping those receipts, payroll, expense logs, for at least 3 to 7 years, because technically the IRS has 3 years to audit you. But if your tax return is fraud, it's indefinitely. So you definitely want to make sure that you keep those expenses tracked. Sometimes a bank statement is not good enough when it comes to tracking your expenses. The IRS would like to see the actual invoice, a council check. Like I've done a couple audits where they want to see the invoice. They don't care what the bank statements say. They want to see the invoice that you pay for. Usually, if it's under $75, as I've been reading in my tax book, under $75, you technically don't need a receipt, but I don't care if I spent $5. I'm going to keep my receipt just so I can have it on hand because when you don't have those receipts that the IRS are requesting, they will disallow that expense, meaning that they will not count it, will and eventually um, adjust your income. So there could be more taxes that you could pay when it comes to that. So as a business owner, again, keeping those receipts, you want to keep them for at least 3 to 7 years. When you are keeping those receipts, you can use different tools like QuickBooks or Wave to keep track. I know with QuickBooks, they have an option there where you can take a picture of your receipt or your invoice and then upload that, so it's just easy for tracking. And then also with Wave, Wave is less expensive than QuickBooks. I have clients who have Wave and QuickBooks. So it just really depends on really your budget and exactly what you have going on in your business. But me, I'm old school, so I have a actual Excel for bookkeeping. And I love it. I like I said, I'm old school, so I will pull out that bank statement and look through it and compare and contrast. I mean, I'm just old school, and I like doing stuff like that. So to me, that's fun. But again, when it comes to record keeping as a business owner, make sure that you have some type of process in place, whether that's an expense book, an income book, if you're using QuickBooks or Wave or any other system that you would like to use. You can even use Mile IQ for people who like to track their mileage. Mile IQ is a great app to have for people who like to deduct their miles on their income taxes. You also want to stay organized as a business owner when it comes to record keeping. You want to set aside time each week and update those records and make sure that you're keeping everything in order. Because what I run into, and other tax professionals as well, is that a lot of times business owners will come to me right now and say, "Oh, I need my taxes filed, and I had a business." I'm like, "Oh, okay. What system have you used, for bookkeeping?" "Oh, I haven't used anything. I just used my bank." Okay, so now I gotta go through 12 months of bank statements and figure out and categorize your income and expenses. I can do that, but that's going to be a hefty fine. So this is why a lot of tax professionals like myself preach to you to have that bookkeeping in place all year. And we understand, as a business owner, we are wearing many hats in our business. We do not always have time to keep up with everything. And sometimes you just need to accept the fact that you have to delegate the work that you have. So if that is getting a bookkeeper, a tax professional to help you with that, go ahead and pay for it. It's a write-off. Go ahead and pay for it. It's no need for you to wait until tax season and say that you need bookkeeping done and you got 12 months of bank statements, but they're not categorized. And then now you want me to categorize it for $200. I think not. So you want to make sure when you are keeping those records, keep them together or hire you a bookkeeper. There are people out there that will work with you to make sure that your books are intact. It just makes it so much easier. It takes the pressure off you to where you can focus on running your business and excel at that. It's hard to excel as a business owner and get to that next level as a business owner when you are wearing many hats and you have to do everything in your business. Sometimes you do have to delegate that. And when it comes to record keeping, a lot of people feel like, "Oh, I don't need to keep my records, catch me if you can," with the IRS. But record keeping actually matters for those tax compliant purposes, for that financial clarity in your business. Because if you want to scale and grow your business, how can you scale and grow when you don't know what your income and expense is? You have to be able to have that financial clarity when it comes to bookkeeping for your business, or as an individual in general, like we discussed earlier. And of course, bookkeeping is important for your business growth. And again, like I mentioned, for individuals, you want to be able to keep those receipts, those bank statements, open it up so you can actually see what's going on with your finances. And as a business owner, you want to keep those invoices, cancel checks, expense logs. We help you here at LC Financial Solution gather all of those documents and keep it in order. Even as an individual, you may feel like you may not need bookkeeping, but sometimes you may need assistance, with, okay, somebody else taking a look at your budget to see how much you are spending on a monthly, weekly, daily to help you reach those goals. So again, if you all need bookkeeping services or budgeting services, you can definitely schedule a consultation with me. No pressure consultation. I'm not here to pressure you to do better. You have to want to do better for yourself. Orthomia said, "I do have a budget book for my business. Since this is my first year as a full-time business owner, what tips would you suggest for people like me who are new to record keeping and bookkeeping and not able to hire someone?" Great question. So something I will recommend, which you are already doing, is keeping that budget book. A lot of things that we order are from online. So what I would suggest is having one business email that you use specifically for when you order things for your business for expenses, and create a folder on your Gmail or Outlook account, whichever one that you have, and label it expenses. And so that way, when you pay for something, you have an invoice, you can save it automatically to that folder. So that way, you automatically have that paper evidence of you purchasing something. And then again, with your budget book, you can go in and create that and create those income and expenses. I can send you over the Excel file that I use. It's 25, 26, and you're 27, and you can track your expenses and your income, and then it would generate a profit and loss statement as well for you, and then it'll show you monthly and quarterly your income and expenses. But again, for someone who is new and cannot or is not able to hire a bookkeeper at this moment, I would definitely suggest using, like I said, that Google folder, and go back to the old school pen and paper. Go and pull it out. If you got a certain notebook, you can keep just everything in it from a month to month or a weekly basis, just depending on what type of business that you have, to keep track of those things. And like I said before, you can also use Wave. I believe Wave is still free at the moment. So Wave is another bookkeeping tool that you can use. You can connect your banking system to Wave. And I also would recommend that you have a separate bank account for business purposes. So that way you are easily accessible to tracking those income and that expense. And then if you use the Wave account, you can connect it and then you can just go in and categorize. I really, really enjoy Wave. I don't have a partnership with them, so I'm not just promoting them just because, but I really, really, really enjoy Wave. There are other, like I said, platforms you can use, Zero, QuickBooks, but Wave has been rubbing off on me lately. Again, organizational tips, you want to schedule yourself weekly. You want to be able to look at those bank statements monthly. So just make sure that you are in compliance with not only your books, but with yourself and the money that you are spending when it comes to being a business owner or an individual as well. And that wraps it up, guys. I am 40 minutes in. Like I told you all before. Yes, Wave, WAVE. Yes, that is an app that you can use. I use them on my desktop as well. But yeah, we are 40 minutes in. Um, if you all are still tuned in, what are some budgeting challenges that you face, um, that you think that you could be better at? And why I'm waiting on those to come in again. Today we summarize, budget basics, common mistakes, and ways to simplify the process when it comes to record keeping for business and individuals. Again, you all want to start small, stay consistent, and review regularly. With those three, start small, stay consistent, review regularly, you will make progress. And remember to be realistic with yourself and with setting your goal. And again, if you all find this helpful, please share, like, and comment with this video. Share this video with a friend who could benefit from it. Again, you can follow me on Facebook here at LC Financial Solutions, personal page LC Wilson. If you all don't have any other questions, I'm going to let you all go. And remember, tax season is here. So if you need your taxes filed, you need your bookkeeping done, please go ahead and schedule with us here at LC Financial Solutions. You can go to my website at lcfinancialsolutions.com or look us up on Facebook at LC Financial Solutions, where we can get you scheduled with a free 15-minute consultation to discuss your finances and how we can assist you. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure. Again, don't forget to like, comment, share this video. I am going to get out of here. Again, Tax Tea Thursdays with Tish each and every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central. I do have a new topic coming in next week. Each week we'll have a new topic. So we will never really be talking about the same thing. Um, in general, some stuff may sound the same, but it's really not. Um, so yeah, stay tuned. Continue to like, comment, and share. And I will see you all next Thursday. Have a great, wonderful night. Stay safe. Stay out this cold. I'm catching a cold. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, consistency. I think consistency, like I spoke about in the beginning of this live, consistency is the hardest for me as well. I can start something, have that goal, but when it comes to consistency, that is what I am working on for this 2025 year. And one of my consistent goals is to come on here live every Thursday, if God will, come on here every Thursday and I will teach something about taxes, wealth planning strategies, bookkeeping, just general news that you can use as the average individual or the high income earning business owner. So, again, thank you all for joining. I definitely appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. I enjoyed the conversation in the chat. Again, like, share with your friends, and I will see you all next Thursday. Good night.